morning, someone.
Lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
NobleGoldInvestments.com. Inflation is not only a real concern, but the rate also still seems to be only trending upwards. Don't let inflation affect you or your retirement. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com today. Act now.
Not feeling bad.
Purchase. Writer mentioned the word silver, and you'll get a 3-ounce silver American Virgin.
How about you?
Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com today. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com.
It's Friday. Freya's Day.
Series 6 and Patriot presents Breitbart News Daily with your host, Mike Slater.
This guy behind me is...
Let's reflect on the fact that we don't have to worry about Florida. You know what I mean? Every election for a while, it's like, it comes down to Florida, and they're going to vote to bang their chads or whatever. It's good to be confident about Florida. How are you, Tim?
I'm doing well. How about you? Thanks for the call. Well, it's been on my mind for a while. You know, like I told someone in my call, you know, it's not about me, but in a sense, it's about time that, you know, my era in the 70s. And, you know, I hate to hear the Democrats and heirs talking about how they're going to improve the young people out in poverty and improve their education. And it's a bunch of BS, because that's what I call 21st century slavery. We got, you know, they got to keep the certain people, and that's the poor and primarily people of color, dumb, you know, and not get a good education. Wouldn't it be, you know, because all these people talk about how they came out of poverty and went to law school and Ivy League, and yeah, but you came out of the same era I came out of, where we had wonderful schools that, you know, they weren't top, you know, the top schools in the country, but they were. The teachers cared, they taught us well. We got education, and you know, those of us who went to college, you know, I have 3 degrees. I didn't want to talk about myself, but I did mention this to him that, you know, I went to medical school from King's College, which I guess that's semi, whatever. But the point of the matter is, I'm just upset how they're letting our poor children, you know, stay poor, because they're lying. They don't want them to get a better education. And you remember what happened in Atlanta when they caught that school where they were changing the grades of the students that passed?
Yes.
And that infuriated me, because it wasn't about the fact that, you know, they finally got caught and go to jail. What infuriated me is they deprive the children of an education. You know, you don't have to go to college, in my opinion. I agree with Mike from, his last name, from Dirty Jobs. Yeah, you don't have to go to college. You know, I calculated when I decided to go to medical school. I was in my early 40s. And what I did is I calculated how much money I would make with the degree versus paying for it. And I paid all my degrees on my own. I paid off the loans. I mean, but what irritated me is they want to talk about how they're going to, you know, lift the poor out of poverty, but they don't want them to be out of poverty. They want them to be dependent on the government. They want them to, you know, have to live paycheck to paycheck. And this is if you get teachers in there, have a goal, making sure the child understands basic math, and reading, and writing.
This guy did not go to medical
and give them
school.
a skill. If that's something they can all do, like my
I can't even fucking talk.
I want to go take another call here. I'm so it is. We said the other day on the amount of literacy in this country. It's horrific. It's like 50% of, it's like 46 or something percent of Americans can only read at 4th grade level. What? So yeah, there's no question the goal is to keep people literate, and they continue to. Barack Obama got 97% of the black vote in Washington, D.C. when he ran for office. Then he cut the voucher program in D.C., the school voucher program, and sent his kids to Sigma, the private school, for $40,000. Not only is the state purpose to keep people ignorant, but also kids ignorant. It's also to keep kids hating America, which we talked about in the first hour. It's rich when you have Kamala up there talking about patriotism, trying to reclaim patriotism for the Democratic Party. You kidding me? Your entire thing is the 1619 Project, which teaches kids that were rooted in slavery and born with this is our original sin that still infiltrates every aspect of life today, and you can't do it on your own. So there's no question what you're saying is true. Tony is in Iowa. What's up, Tony?
Morning, Mike. Thanks for taking the call. And we got a second one. Remember Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy, and how H.W. Bush used it and got a whole bunch of flack. Well, what do you mean, don't worry? We're in trouble. So how could you say? Could you imagine if Harris Vance used it, how it would just fit right in with their joy, everything's all right. See?
Well, this could have been her intro. Which Beyonce needs to remix it. Yeah, this is perfect. Tony, this is
Morning, unindoctrinated.
The Barbie versus Oppenheimer analogy. Go back yesterday. Like, everything's fine. Trump's like, hey, here's Rachel Moore, whose daughter was raped and murdered by an illegal alien from Venezuela. Democratic response. Okay, our grocery bill went up 40%. Gas went up 100%. What do you say, Democrats? Yeah, will that work? Maybe. Not if you, though. It's better work.
The statement is not evaluated by the FDA, which are not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices. Touchdown! Hey, how about another round of smart chips? But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit newnordicusa.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair Repair Shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-295-7144. 800-295-7144. Again, that's 800-295-7144. Coverage deductibles and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
Strong national defense.
Sanctity of life.
Conservative principles live here.
We are.
Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The 2024 Democratic National Convention is history, closing last night with Kamala Harris formally accepting her party's presidential nomination.
Our nation with this election.
Did they ever actually do a vote?
Fleeting.
I mean, with the RNC, you actually saw.
Divisive battles of the past. She then
They actually have the delegates cast their votes, or did they just
on abortion
coordinate her?
and his supporters? The presidential field may be about to narrow.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has scheduled a Friday speech amid speculation he's going to drop his independent presidential bid.
I have a lot of respect for RFK Jr. You know that. I've known him a long time. Very smart. A little bit different, and that's okay.
Donald Trump was asked about it on a trip to Arizona.
He's loved by a lot of people, and I'm hearing that he wants to leave. Don't forget he was treated very unfairly.
Democrats to have a favorable opinion of RFK Jr., and Trump allies have urged him to endorse the former president.
There are rumors that he is going to make an endorsement. That would be a great honor for me.
I'm Ben Thomas.
Tropical storm Hone expected to bring high winds along with torrential, possibly flooding rains to Hawaii this coming weekend.
Close to midnight or so Saturday night, it'll be south of the Big Island as a tropical storm. They do have it going into hurricane strength by the time we get to Sunday, later Sunday, and by hurricane strength, I mean basically Category 1 hurricane.
Brian Hurley at the National Weather Service. President Biden reportedly planning to send his national security advisor Jake Sullivan to China for a meeting with Sullivan's Chinese counterpart. Wall Street head of this morning's opening bell now futures up 186. More of these stories at townhall.com.
Don't buy gold until you hear this. The Warren Buffett indicator just hit
coronation.
195%. That's higher than it's ever been, even higher than the 2008 global financial crisis. So what's going to happen next this time around? Hi, I'm Drew Yurosek. I've been
Good
working
use
in
of
finance for
communism, yeah.
decades, and as a former U.S. Marine Sergeant, it was my duty to identify threats and protect Americans. And I've been focused on the current threat to millions of Americans' retirement savings. I believe that every American has the right to protect the savings they have worked hard to achieve using physical precious metals like gold and silver. Here at Sasco Gold, we put together the Gold Retirement Protection Guide to help investors like you understand why 2024 is one of the most crucial times to start investing in gold and precious metals. Just text FREEDOM to 76626 and we'll send you a free copy of our Gold Retirement Protection Guide right now. Text FREEDOM to 76626 and get your free copy today. That's FREEDOM to 76626. Standard text and data rates may apply. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
Pakistani security forces going after attackers who have been targeting police and other security personnel recently.
Gunmen armed with rocket-propelled grenades have ambushed a police convoy in eastern Punjab province in India, killing a dozen or more officers and wounding others, authorities say. AP footage shows the wounded taken to the emergency ward in a Punjab hospital.
Yeah, did you see him jerk his arm when they were going on stage? Special needs.
Punjab police say the government would like robbers and not militants. Pakistan has witnessed a surge in violence and militant attacks in recent years, but such a high number of police casualties in a single attack is rare. I'm Charles Philadelphia.
Botswana's president has shown off a fist-sized diamond, the largest diamond found in more than a century unearthed at a mine in Botswana, 2,492 carats. Townhall.com.
I didn't watch the event. I just saw a clip of it. I'll find a clip of it.
Let's talk about the people. It's common sense. It's principles and policies that work for everybody. I just want to talk about how to fix this country.
democracy in the history of the world. And on behalf of our children and our grandchildren and all those who sacrificed so dearly for our freedom and liberty, we must be worthy of this moment. It is now our turn to do what generations before us.
He just has a minor learning disability too. It's not like he's full-blown autistic or anything.
And faith to fight for this country we love, to fight for the ideals we cherish, and to uphold the awesome responsibility that comes with the greatest privilege on earth, the privilege and pride of being an American. So let's get out there, let's fight for it, let's get out there, let's vote for it, and together, let us write the next.
If there is a bump, this is typical coming out of the campaigns, or have the American people woken up to the reality that they were being sold joy, but there is no joy. Also, no policy. Not much of any policy at all. As a matter of fact, more of the policy discussion played out in the media when even CNN and other more left-leaning outlets actually brought up policy points. We've played some of it throughout the week. Gina Raimondo not understanding that it wasn't Trump's fault that the BLS revised the jobs numbers by 818,000. That was Trump's fault. Speaking of Trump, I have her entire speech. 37 minutes, but it was being lauded as the shortest speech of any acceptance speech. Really? That's a thing. 15 mentions of Donald Trump. No mentions of many things that matter, or little at all. The word illegal doesn't once. Border 7 times. Well, that's 6 more than she's pretended to go to the border. But you get the idea. The economy, 1 mention. This was the campaign of joy on full display, but from the very people who have taken away the joy in the last 3.5 years in the form of the economy, in the form of security, in the form of their leftism, progressivism, whatever they want to call it, or anyone wants to call it, but they believe that that should be the future of America. The America that has given us burned out cities, as in Governor Tim Walz in Minneapolis for 3 days, while his daughter tweeted out, well, the National Guard won't be showing up, just in case, you need to know, and other things. Where his wife left the windows open so she could smell the burning tires. These are the people that want you to give them more power. And these are the people that want to run not just the country, but in fact the world into the ground. Let's not kid ourselves. We have to first now officially and procedurally, and after having finished the acceptance speech last night, the first time in American history, we have a socialist ticket. A socialist ticket. Tim Walz. Camp on Tim. One person's socialism is another person's charity. I believe we call that redistribution, among many other things. They brought in all the heavyweights. Well, their wallets are heavy while yours are not. Oh, that
Found
paper
it.
with the regular people on the arena floor.
Of course, the only place you're going to find it is on X.
Or something from the concession stand. They were up in the C-suites.
Everything else has been diluted.
Whatever suites they call them. Let me throw it out to you, because we've got a lot to cover today. As always. Did you get a level of joy? Did you change your mind on your vote? Did you change and decide you're going to vote for Kamala Harris? Did you change and decide you're going to vote for Donald Trump? And by the way, let me just clarify this. You can register for either party. You can call yourself whatever you want. And if you are one of those
Yeah, but
so-called Republicans like
it's so easy to call anything socialist, though.
who says, I'm
Hell,
a Republican,
our current
I'm
government is
for
pretty
Kamala
socialist.
Harris, you're
It's
not
more
a
socialist than capitalist with all the government aids
There
and
is
stuff.
no way you can be a Republican according to the Republican Party platform from day one, from Lincoln to where we are today, and vote for socialist policies, outright socialist policies, redistributive policies, policies that weaken the country rather than peace through strength. So they're frauds. This is full on a battle now.
See if hopefully Taco Bell will be open this morning.
Both candidates and their respective campaigns, as the difference between a constitutional republic,
I was in the mood
capitalist
yesterday.
system,
Now I'm more in the mood. Oh, in the bag.
and a socialist ticket with a socialist economic plan for America. One that takes from those who produce and gives to those who do not. If it's not clearly obvious, the problem isn't what I'm saying. The problem isn't what many are saying. The problem is that many don't want to face the truth and the reality about where the Democrat Party is today. Bernie Sanders stuck his nose under the tent. His policies, his ideas are has admitted as much when it comes to 40% of Iowa voters, Democrat voters. Along of this evolution, you've seen it on full display. And don't fall for the distraction of what played out outside the United Center, outside the security zone where you had to show ID and be vetted to come in. You had to go through Secret Service clearance processes to have certain types of access, just like we did at the RNC. All of that was required. But
well, I'm getting a breakfast quesadilla.
The leftists,
at least
pro-terrorists,
I don't know what other crunch. Is there a breakfast crunch wrap?
People outside were the distraction.
I don't see a breakfast crunch wrap. I see quesadilla, I see burritos. Oh yeah, crunch wrap. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
36.2 million Latino voters.
I think the quesadilla would be enough.
34.4 million black voters on November 5th.
All right.
Maybe 1.2 million Muslim voters.
Yeah, they make it so fucking hard to use
Are
this
the
damn
Democrats
drinks.
and the DNC really playing into the quote Dearborn vote, into the Palestine community vote in Chicago? No, they're not. That's the distraction, because there aren't enough of them, while there are a lot.
You don't like the
of them.
Cinnabons? Oh
Their
man.
vote will go, and how they feel about Killer Kamala. But they're playing for the bigger chunk, the bigger pie, that if you even took 10% of the Latino vote, 10% of the black vote, that would outnumber the Muslim vote significantly, multiple times over. And the one other group that was missing at the convention, oh, they were there. They were there in the form of influencers, TikTokers, and other social media platforms. Where were the Caucasians? They were invited to hand over their vote, to put up their money, to support, to be guilty about it, guilty white liberals. But if you're just a Caucasian, you don't get a caucus.
Yeah, full of white goodness.
Because now the game is to further divide the culture into this ethnic block or ethnic blocks.
How the fuck do you order a fucking coffee though? Unless you get the
make
combo.
The largest block submissive to the agendas of the others.
I can't find the coffee in the menu. I'll have to wait till I stop.
What is the agenda?
Morning, Toe.
So there's not joy from the people.
There's the Weber block.
Take the joy out of life because it's not joyous to consider.
We tried to come to Taco Bell yesterday, but oh fuck, they still closed.
With tens of millions living in poverty.
Oh no, just
close to the poverty
just that part of the parking lot they just painted. Okay. They just repaved this parking lot yesterday.
Where it is today versus where it was before the Biden-Harris administration.
Alright, I can find out where the fucking coffee is in here.
So where's the joy? No, Ronald Reagan said this many years ago. And I know it's a bit of a dad joke, but I think it bears...
Jesus, you cannot... Is there no coffee on their menu anymore?
Right now.
It's a story about a woman who walked into a bridal shop one day, told the sales clerk that she was looking for a wedding gown for her 4th wedding. Well, the saleswoman asked just exactly what type of dress are you looking for? A long, flowing white dress with a veil, she responded with assurance. Not totally convinced, but afraid to offend the woman, the sales lady said, you know, dresses of that nature are usually more appropriate for brides who are being married for the first time, for those a bit more innocent, if you know what I mean. Well, the lady retorted and put her hand on her hip. I do know what you mean, and I can assure you I'm as innocent as the rest of them. Despite all my marriages, I remain as innocent as any first-time bride. You see, my first husband was a dear, sweet man. It was a terrible tragedy, actually. All the excitement of the wedding was simply too much for him, and he died as we checked into the hotel on our wedding night. I'm sorry to hear that, said the clerk, but what about the others? Well, my second husband and I got into a terrible fight in the limousine on the way to our wedding reception. We haven't spoken since and got the marriage quickly annulled. What about your third husband, asked the store clerk. Well, the woman replied, he was a Democrat. And every night, for 4 years, he just sat on the edge of the bed and told me how good it was going to be. Sorry, I just couldn't resist telling them.
When running a business, your employees can create all kinds of interesting situations, like somebody not showing up when they're supposed to. Well, you better talk to Bambee. With Bambee, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager starting at just $99 per month. They're available when you need them by phone, email, and real-time chat, so onboarding and termination.
Well, you can't get coffee anymore.
Team members reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations. And with Bambee's HR Autopilot, you'll automate and coordinate HR practices like setting policies, conducting training, and getting feedback. HR managers are expensive. They can easily cost $80 grand a year, but Bambee starts at $99
Hey, Matt.
a month. Schedule your free conversation today and see how much Bambee can take off your plate. Go to Bambee.com, type web under radio when you sign up. That's spelled BAM, BEE.com, and type web under radio when you sign up.
The Wilkow Majority.
Coming up right after the David Webb Show, RFK's big announcement is coming up, and we'll be talking to Ken Cuccinelli, the national chairman of the Election Transparency Initiative, after Webb.
The Wilkow Majority coming up next at noon East after the David Webb Show on SiriusXM Patriot.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the
Smell better
OBGYN
naked?
creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it
There
for
we go.
free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME-deodorant.com.
Yes, I have a mobile order. Norm. Yeah, I can't find coffee on the app. Just a regular coffee.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes?
Yeah, it's fine.
Inflation creeping onto savings?
All right, thanks.
We understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-625-4250. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible with Noble Gold Investments.
So that temporary plate, Michigan plate in front of us expired August 1st. They didn't pay the man for the privilege of driving on the man's roads.
The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-625-4250. This performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with a tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Jesus Christ.
One person's personal information.
Go for the foot.
Person's treasure.
You can back up if you want to. Weirdo.
Protection Pros safeguard devices from phishing websites and
2019, thank you.
Just check NordVPN.com, find the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Secure borders.
Free markets.
Free markets.
Conservative principles live here.
We are
Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125. Truth is the authority. This is
Thank you.
Patriot 957-2874. The economy, your economy, was mentioned 3 times in 37 minutes from last night's acceptance speech. It's mentioned almost daily in every American.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Or dealt with by the average person.
All right.
Walmart and to cut prices.
Quesadilla.
To come back into the stores. They've seen a jump in traffic, but now there's a keyword value that comes into play. Earnings calls have not gone as well as projected or hoped. So they've begun to reduce prices to bring in customers. And what does that mean? Or what does that indicate about the economy? So let's turn it over to Tracy Burns, financial advisor with UBS. It's a Friday. And Tracy, that means the weekly business report. So what's going on with Walmart and Target? I come through the school zones here in Florida. They start a little earlier around the country. Back to school purchasing is underway. Typically a time for retailers to make a bundle.
Yeah, but it's tough to do when the consumer's struggling, right? And we've seen that, and we've heard it in all the reports that you alluded to. You know, consistently.
African tacos. What's that?
Saying that there's evidence that consumers.
All right, guys. I'll do a desktop stream.
That purchasing power is.
Been testing that microphone so you guys can hear my interactions at the window. Friday's always bomb.
And he had noted that it's constant in all of them. Consumers are looking for.
All right, guys. Later. Love you guys. Peace.
Again, I guess.